And Rory came out and said, I've heard nothing about this. And the guy then posted a screenshot of a text message thing he had with his person in the know. Didn't show the names. And, of course, people went off, and that guy said, you could do that on you could make that up anywhere.
Right.
But this person was a highly respected trade person.
Well, and, and the thing is 3 days after that rumor, all of a sudden it was Orlando.
Yeah.
So Jeff is probably right.
Oh, I think Jeff is more than no.
I had actually posted on Twitter from my personal account about how I can't believe how Minnesota fans are wasting their time tweeting about these rumors. It's just, for me, it ruins sports. I just hate it. And
it
it's
gives
like
you something to do.
Because there's no substance to it at all. It's just like somebody said, oh well, Houston's interested. Well, yeah, sure, okay, maybe Houston's interested, but that doesn't mean, I'm interested in signing Carlos Vela. That doesn't mean anything, right?
Yeah.
It's just, so maybe somebody somewhere said something, and they have absolutely no control over anything, it gets blown up.
It's just something interesting to talk about, I think.
Yeah, and I do agree with what Sterling said, just because the rumors from Europeans coming over here to play now. Right. With Ozil, it's like, he's not going to come.
Yeah, or, the new one this week is what's his name? The biter.
The guy from Dwyer.
Yeah, it's like, come on. Maybe because he played for Heath.
Yeah. Suarez.
Yeah.
Suarez.
Yeah. Sorry.
At first I was thinking Mike Tyson. Wait a minute.
I kind of just went with Tony's thing, and then you ruined it. See?
But there was rumors about Dom Dwyer.
Damn it, John.
I retire
Dom Dwyer
to
a possible Minnesota.
Yes, Dom Dwyer potentially
a trade.
Again, it's as much of a rumor as Darwin going to Orlando.
Well, maybe it'll happen a little faster than we think. But the first thing that would probably have to happen is they would have to pick up Darwin's option in order to trade him. So we'll see. And I guess we shouldn't assume if they pick up his option that it'll be here. In 2020.
And so the issue, maybe we can get into some nuances here with MLS, is so we have a list that we have to protect for the expansion draft. I would imagine this will come up in next episode where we'll talk more about this. Right now, as it stands, if I understand MLS rules, which I don't know that anyone does, including Don
Garber. I remember early last year I printed out the complete rules and regulations
of
MLS.
Pages.
It's like 50 pages long. I tried to read through it. Boy, that'll make your head spin pretty quick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's
hard to get past the GAM-TAM section. Then you're like, oh, God.
And so you've got this protected list. As it stands, if we're not going to pick up Darwin's option, well, regardless, actually, we have to protect him.
Yeah.
So why would we protect a player we're not going to keep?
Yeah.
And of course, we could not protect him, but then there's that chance that we lose him for absolutely nothing.
Correct.
That's right.
So you got to protect him.
Yeah, so it's like, then the question comes in, well, would Inter Miami or Nashville actually pick him up? Because they're going to have to, I believe the rules are you have to entertain the option.
Yes.
At least slightly. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you pick up a guy on the expansion draft, and it's like, who's going to pay him that? Well, that's a valid question. But Nashville might.
Well,
Inter Miami has so much money that they could.
And there's a low. Every expansion has to hit a low cap number, right? You have to hit a certain amount.
And they get extra TAM.
Yeah.
Which would help them.
So if you're looking to add somebody just for, because you need to spend $2 million, then he's the guy you add.
Right. And here's the thing. It's like, does Minnesota deal him and just get out of that situation entirely? Because there's a risk, a very slight risk, that they could lose him for absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And it's challenging.
I should bring this up actually because the expansion draft will happen by our next podcast.
Oh, it will.
It's actually set for November 19th.
Yeah.
Of this year. So it's going to be happening.
We don't even know who they're going to protect.
And I can tell you that list will be released on November 16th.
Yeah.
So by the end of this week.
Damn it.
Yes.
Ruined that one.
So yeah, we'll know more by next podcast.
Yeah.
We'll know everything.
And then just as long as we're talking about it. So the teams that are protected because of FC Cincinnati's draft in 2018 are DC United, Vancouver, Dallas, Houston Dynamo, and New York Red Bulls. They're exempt from this.
Which leads me to the next thing. That's why Houston trade for DQ makes sense, because they wouldn't have to worry about protecting.
Exactly right.
And there's something coming back at least.
Right.
Yeah, potentially.
And he's closer to, I suppose, closer to family.
Yeah.
He's closer to Mexico. He has a Mexican passport.
There you go.
I don't know if that matters any, but
it's all up in the air right now. It's like it's a fluid situation. Every day there's something new that comes out that says, hey, he's going here, he's going there. It's like, I think the team is moving on.
I think they are too.
It just depends on how they're going to move on from him.
Right.
The chances of us re-signing him to an extension are 0 to 0 at this point. They're moving on.
Now, if we do trade him to Orlando, and we do get Dom Dwyer, that's going to make things really awkward.
Of course it will.
Because I was in the Wonderwall when we played Orlando, and literally every single chant, there's a rhythmic break that they chant, "Fuck you, Dom Dwyer."
Oh, that's nice.
I would have been at that one, but I was gone.
And you know, our fans have an issue with Dom Dwyer, and we should, because he's a whiny little jerk.
He's a bitch.
So, that's going to be interesting if
he comes and starts producing and we start winning more, fans are going to...
The other problem, too, is...
And I want to bring up the fact that, Dom Dwyer is married to
an actually good soccer
player. Soccer player in Sydney LaRue. Former U.S. women's national team player.
Yeah.
She actually currently plays for the Orlando Pride.
Yeah, that's right.
So I don't know how that would...
Yeah, and I joke to you that there is one Dwyer that we should sign, and it would be her.
Right.
But the other problem, too, is you get Dwyer back. Where does he play?
Well, you get rid of Angelo, and there you go.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of people out there that probably not assume that this trade is going to happen, but assume that maybe Angelo won't be back.
Yeah, that's another guy.
Right.
That's an up in air one, for sure.
And so maybe, I don't know. Can we quickly speculate on who we protect in the expansion draft? I kind of missed the dates. I kind of thought we were going to have...
maybe we do. So this year, all teams that are involved in the expansion draft, including Minnesota United, they'll be able to protect 12 players. That's actually up from 11 last time.
Right.
So it's not as...
It's hard for me.
It's not that hard, is it?
It is.
It is.
I mean, because you can protect most of your...
because you're gonna have Ike, obviously, Boxel, obviously. You're gonna have Jan, obviously. You're gonna have Ozzy, obviously.
Toy.
What are you up to?
Toy, I think, is Generation Adidas.
Yeah, that's right.
So he's exempt.
Dotson. I don't know.
I don't think you have to cover the younger guys, though. I think they have to be in the league for...
So the exemptions are Generation Adidas, homegrown, or... Come on, Dave.
Internationals?
Come on. I can't. No, internationals aren't. DPs aren't.
Yeah.
So, but now Chacon's an interesting one because he's a young DP. I don't know if that changes things. But I think I could fill up 12 pretty fast.
Yeah, you could.
And I feel like there'd be some that I'd be like, eh. I mean, I can guarantee you, Angelo, Miguel.
Yeah, Miguel
I would
won't.
bet Finley.
Finley won't yet.
Well, the ones that we declined options. So Martin, Schuler,
the young kid.
Manley.
Yeah.
I would assume Omsberg won't be protected.
Yeah. Do we have to protect Vito?
He would be.
So
because his loan. Well, I don't know. His loan player.
It's a loan.
He's a loan player.
We wouldn't protect. What's his name though? Our third goalie.
Shuttleworth.
Yeah, Shuttleworth. You'd almost. Well,
he would love to probably not be protected.
Goalkeepers are a dime a dozen. They probably don't.
Yeah, but not protecting him means one of these teams can pick up a goalkeeper they can use for like a year.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? And there's probably players that don't want to be protected. Go to an expansion team. They could play Miguel.
Right.
Well, Miguel's not going to be protected.
He would love to be gone.
Miguel might enjoy playing for Beckham.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. He would love to be gone, probably, to play more.
Yeah.
So just to clear it up, I think Dotson would have to be protected just because I think you're basically you mentioned the Generation Adidas players who are protected and the homegrown players are protected, which Minnesota does not have.
We don't.
Much of,
Yeah. So Gasper and Dotson would have to be protected.
Plus St. Clair.
Yep. Unless St. Clair's Generation Adidas. I don't think he is.
I don't think he is.
Because and then there's. Speaking of Generation Adidas, I think Dinladi graduated, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So now he's not protected either.
Oh, you had to protect Dinladi too.
So
very complicated.
I'm telling you, I don't think a dozen players are easy to pick.
It's very complicated.
Yeah.
If we're looking for the silver lining here, is that only one player could be selected from any given team.
Right.
So
we're good.
It could. Well, I guess we are or we aren't. I mean, it could sting depending on the player selected.
I'm hoping it's Miguel Ibarra.
Maybe it's a good problem to have. I mean, when we ran through this scenario last year at about this time, I don't think we had as much to care about because we didn't have the players that we needed to protect.
Any of them could have left.
It's a good problem to have where we have a bigger roster that needs to be protected. And, the sad reality is they may lose a player.
So then it's his first real test. What's he do?
Yeah.
Himself.
And that's a good point, John. He's going to have a lot more say on his first team roster, so he's probably going to have a lot more say on this as well.
I'm a Heath guy, so this is where the pressure comes on him now.
Yeah. So let's get out of the Loons talk now. Let's talk a little MLS playoffs.
Yeah.
Because the Cup final is today. It is Seattle versus Toronto, which is a scenario that if it would have gone our way, we'd be playing a home game today at Allianz Field for the final.
Yes, because of course it's taking place at CenturyLink Field in Seattle today.
But
that didn't
happen.
But this is a scenario that it would have happened.
So this is what I have an issue with, and it's the fact that it's an example of how the best team is not going to be champion.
That's right.
I mean, Seattle's pretty good.
Yeah.
But Toronto's crap. I don't care what anybody says.
How did we get here? I mean, so we had LAFC being knocked off at home by Seattle, and then of course Atlanta United was also knocked off at home by Toronto.
Right.
So it's not the matchup I think MLS was hoping for. I should probably, just because of the market size in both of those.
Right.
It's something called parity.
Yeah. Right.
It actually, it comes up to something that, I don't. If anybody out there has listened to or watched the This Is Football on Amazon Prime,
oh jeez,
it's really interesting. The last episode I watched kind of was focusing on the Bundesliga and the German teams like Iron Frankfurt. Did I pronounce that right? Eintracht Frankfurt. Thank you. I knew I was going to mess that up, but at least we have John
shove
here.
something in your mouth and say gibberish.
But I turned you on to that episode, though, Dave.
You did, but I guess the point I'm bringing up is a big part of that episode. It's episode 3 if people want to go back and watch it. It's they really get into how much luck is really involved in the sport of soccer, and they make that case that as far as major sports are concerned, soccer has indeed the most luck involved. And there was a really interesting study that some of these sports scientists did, and they looked at Bundesliga seasons. I believe it was 2018 and 17, but they looked at not only Bundesliga seasons, but Premier League seasons, and analyzed every single goal that was scored. And they had 6 different variables of what they called luck variables. It might be when a ball hits the post. It might be when somebody, maybe mishits a shot or doesn't hit the ball properly off their foot, but still goes towards goal. And they came up with, and this is not exact science, but the study that they came up with was that 47% of goals were involved at least some sort of luck.
Yeah.
47%. And the interesting thing was their studies of both the Bundesliga and the Premier League, they were within less than 1% of, they came up with that same number. So almost half the goals involved a good bit of luck. And so, that's how we got here. There's so much luck involved.
And there's parity. There's parity in the league
to begin with.
There's parity.
And add the luck.
You used to have, back in MLS first started, you have teams that were the dominant teams in MLS who were there every year. Now you don't have that anymore. LAFC had a great year, but it only takes one game now to kill your whole year.
Right.
You look at a team like look at what happened to Sporting Kansas City this year. My pick to